Hey, what is up everyone, SwiperTheSlyFox here. Today I am coming to you with another tips video. In this video I will be telling you the importance of maining operators, giving you some advice on how to pick your mains, and telling you about the mains that I play myself. So with this new meta coming up with the mid-season reinforcements, and if you don't know about the mid-season reinforcements, they are changing the recoil pattern for every gun to make them easier to track and get used to, so there will be no more of this random recoil where you don't know where your second and third bullet are going to hit. They will always hit in the exact same location depending on the distance you're at. So, with that being said, picking which operator you play is a lot more important than it used to be. You can't just randomly decide, oh, I guess I'll play Jaeger this round, and you can have Ella, who I played last round, because the recoil patterns are different for both of those weapons. So the more you play an operator, the better you'll get with them. Having a main on this game is extremely important in my opinion. Without knowing who you're going to play going into each and every round, you really put a lot of stress on the team, because if in one instance you play Twitch and you're able to take out key mirrors, take out Jaegers and other equipment, and then the next round you play as Jackal, you're really doing nothing but hurting your team's overall effectiveness. I know that the team I play with now consists of about 8 or 9 guys consistently, just the first 5 on get to play, and all of us have mains that we play. All of us know who the other person's going to play any given round. There might be a little variance in between rounds, objectives, and maps, but for the most part, we know who everybody's going to play. I myself play Hibana and Legion. And since we have started doing this, our win percentage has went up dramatically. We've no longer split entire days 50-50, win 5, lose 5. Now we are consistently winning at a better rate. And I credit this to the fact that we have mains. We don't have to depend on one person fragging out each game or being able to outshoot the other team. Because we have mains, we're able to develop strategies using those mains. We know what each person's going to do at the start of every attack round. We know how we're going to hold defenses. Having mains can help you develop your game far more than just the common gold, low platinum. It can help you reach that diamond that everybody wants. Now, I'm not saying that picking a main is going to automatically get you to diamond. It is going to improve your gameplay. It's going to help you get better as an overall player. But it will take some practice to get as good with an operator as you'll need to get diamond. It's going to take coordination from your team. It's going to take a lot of different things working together to get you to diamond. And like always, like every game, it's going to take your ability to outskill the other team. But at the front of all of that, I do believe that having a main will help you coordinate attacks with your team and will help you, in the end, reach diamond. So before I start giving you advice on how to pick your mains, I don't want you to think that this is a tutorial on how to pick the best main in Rainbow Six Siege. I am in no way the best player on Rainbow Six Siege, nor will I ever claim to be. There is always going to be somebody better than me at one aspect or many aspects of this game. But I understand how the game works, and I know that when it comes to picking a main, you want to pick a main who is always going to, in one way or another, help your team. And I know that you can say, well, every operator in this game will help your team. Yes, that is very true, but some will help your team a lot more than others. If you pick Caveira in every situation, on every single map, you are not helping your team. You are trying to get frags in situations that you might not be able to, but you just won't give up on Caveira. That's not helping anybody. There comes a time when you need to know that a Rook main will always be better than a Caveira main. So picking your main is a delicate thing. In my situation, I main Hibana on attack, because in case somebody on my team doesn't want to main Thermite, we always have that breacher there to help our team in the end. I main Legion on defense because the information that I can give from my goo mines from death and life will help the team get wins. It's all about information and being able to attack a site or defend a site. But there are many different classes of mains. I go for the more subtle help the team mains. There is the entry fragger that is needed on every team. You need somebody who can follow a drone or can clear a room by themselves so that your breachers can get in and take care of hatches or walls that need to be blown. You need to have a support player, somebody who is going to play that drone operator. In our team's case, it's generally our Twitch player who will drone out rooms and let us know, okay, there's nobody in here, there's no equipment, you're good to go in. that's only 3 of the 5 operators available. So in this situation, if you have 2 breachers, it's best for your support player to make sure they're clear to go in, but that still leaves one other position. Generally, my team plays this as a second entry fragger, somebody to go in with the first entry fragger and help get trade backs in case there is someone sitting in a room that was called clear that wasn't clear. And this just helps ensure that we are able to make the pushes that we need to make when we need to make them. So really, picking your main comes down to your team. If you have 5 players that you're able to get in contact with and make arrangements to know who's going to main who's going to do what, it will really help this go a lot smoother. If you're generally the person on your team getting the most kills, you're able to clear rooms by yourself, and your accuracy is above average, then make yourself an entry fragger. Make yourself something on the team that's going to help your entire team. Don't just ash rush every game, and if you die, assume, oh well, we've lost this round because I died. That's not going to help you win, because 9 times out of 10, you can't ash rush every round. I know I've said that before. So you need to talk with your team and say, okay, I'm going to play Ash, but I'm not going to ash rush. Twitch, you drone me in, and then me and Capital will go in together. So we're able to get trade backs, make correct pushes, and in the end, win this round and overall the game. If you're generally dropping lower on the scoreboard, you feel like you're getting carried most games, and you don't know how to help your team, you can always play the support player. The support player is, in my opinion, one of the most important players on the team. Once you finish droning out for your entry fraggers, you've cleared, for example, on Oregon, you've cleared small tower, you've cleared big tower, and your team knows where to push, then you can help your team by watching for the flanks. You can watch angles coming from backside, making sure that there's not an Ella or a Caviera coming from behind you, and that will help your team in a lot of situations. I can't tell you how many times myself, I've been playing the support player watching the flank and saved a teammate or saved the entire round because a Caviera wasn't able to flank up behind us and get an interrogation. And now for the last type of main that I want to talk about. It is the breachers. As a breacher, I know that every round I need to stay alive until my job is finished. If I die before I've completed my job, then I have not done what I needed to do at all. If I die before I have blown important walls or opened up important angles, then my team is forced to enter from one way only, and that is doorways and windows. If the defenders know that they've killed both breachers and that the enemy team can only come from windows and doorways, that's all they have to look at. They don't have to look anywhere else, and it makes it an almost impossible feat to win a round. For example, if you're playing on Consulate and they're defending archives on secure area, if they kill Thermite and Hibana and all the hatches are still closed, all they have to do is watch blue and double door. That makes it impossible for any attacking team unless the defenders get really aggressive to win any round in that situation. But as Thermite and Hibana, once you've completed your job and you're out of charges, you can then fall off and be one of the other 2 mains. You can become the support player and help your team watch rotates, help your team watch angles while they make the push into objective. That's the one I usually go for. Or you can become an entry fragger and you yourself can push with your Ash, with your IQ, with your Jackal, or your Capital. You can push with those players and help them make pushes that are needed. It's all dependent on how far your team is in this situation. So now let's talk shortly about defensive mains. It's pretty much the same thing as offensive mains. Some are more useful than others. Some are defensive mains that you must have. In most situations, I do think that a Jaeger is a must-have defender just because he can help so much keep your team from having to rotate around the map. He can stop Candelas, he can stop Fuse, he can stop grenades and flashes, he can stop smokes and bomb to stop the quick plants. Jaeger is an extremely useful main on defense. I feel like Bandit is an extremely useful main on defense in most situations. If it's a situation where the attackers can just walk in a door and plant, you might want to switch over that Bandit for an Echo, or you might want to switch over that Bandit for an Ella. Although I will say Ella is a great main to have. She is probably one of the best roamers on the game right now underneath Caviera. So that brings me to the 3 types of mains that I believe there are on defense. You have your roamers, your anchors, and your offsite anchors. I play offsite anchor. I generally sit next to an objective room or down some steps from the objective room, but I will never play inside the objective room, especially as Legion. I don't think you're needed in the objective more so than you're needed to help stop pushes with your traps. So that's what I play. I play outside of the objective room. I am an outside of the room anchor. And what I do is I help stop pushes. I am able to make rotates if I need to, but for the most part I can completely cut off one avenue of a push by myself, accompanied by Legion's goo mines, which give you the information that you need to know where they're pushing from and where you need to push yourself. The role of the anchor is very similar to the offsite anchor, but your job is to make sure that nobody gets into the objective itself, and if they do, you're there to stop them. An anchor does not need to get aggressive. An anchor does not need to get super aggro or hold too loose of an angle outside of the objective, because if you die, there's either one more person or nobody else in the objective if you are playing the lone anchor. So it's very good to be cautious when you're playing the anchor. You don't want to overextend. You don't want to give yourself up, because if you die, you're forcing one of your roamers or one of your offside anchors to rotate back into the room, leaving the position they were holding, which could end the game. An anchor should always be semi-passive and never aggressive. If you're caught outside of the room as an anchor, you're giving up the room to the attackers, and it's never a good thing to do when you're playing an objective-based game, is give up the objective. That's not something that you want to do. An anchor's role on any team is super important. Maybe not the most important player on a defensive team. If the other team never makes it to you, you didn't really do much. But in many situations, that's not how that's going to go. Your roamers aren't going to take out all 5 attackers. You are going to get pushed. You are going to get pressured, whether it be from outside windows or the hallway right outside the objective or the objective itself. You are going to be pushed, and the longer you're in objective, the harder it is for the enemy team to secure a win. And now for the last offensive main. It is the roamer. We'll make this one kind of short. Roaming is pretty simple. It's a simple thing to do. You just stay outside of the room, rotate around, take time off of the attackers, make sure that you don't die, try to pick up a few frags along the way. But a roamer's main job is to kill time. If as a roamer you spawn peek and die within the first 5 seconds, you've done absolutely nothing for your team. But if as a roamer you hold a hallway for 2 minutes and the attackers put 3 guys on you, that's 2 minutes off of the attacker's time that you've taken, preventing pushes, preventing them from pushing the site, preventing them from holding angles onto anchors. You might have single-handedly won the round by killing 2 minutes off of the clock and then dying. Even if you don't pick up any kills, killing that much time off of the clock in this game is super important. So, all roamers, your main job is to kill time, not high frag. So, to go over what we've just said, attacking mains need to be coordinated with your team. You need to know who's doing what and how they're doing them. Coordination can beat any defense 9 times out of 10. On defense, if you're going to roam, you need to roam. If you're going to anchor, you need to anchor. If you're going to offsite anchor, you need to be able to hold angles and keep attackers off of certain positions. If one of these fail, the whole system can crumble. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment, let me know what parts you liked, what parts you didn't like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one.